Welcome back to News Insight. Pastor Kingsley, what's happening to Man City?
Since I was born, though we don't try to laugh at people that are coming down, but the way they denied Arsenal the title last season, it was painful. But the Bible says we should not wish people that are coming down. We should not wish that they come down. But at this point right now, all Man City fan, don't worry. We have all gone through this road before. I mean, they played matches both from European Championship to the EPL, and it has been on a losing streak. I think 9 on a row. Just one win in 13 matches, or in 12 matches. 1 win and 2 draws, 9 losses. This weekend, they lost to Aston Villa. I mean, for all of Guardiola's coaching time, from Barcelona to Bayern Munich to Man City, nothing like this has ever happened before. I think they need to declare a day of fasting and prayer. I think they need to.
That's why they say, if the Lord did not watch the city, the watchman watched it in vain.
I'm telling you.
But let's
turn to the Lord now.
Let's put it this way: it's just because it is Man City, because they've been winning the leagues in the recent times, back to back. So they are currently seated at the 7th position with 27 points. That ordinarily wouldn't be a bad result. But
for their reputation.
Exactly, but for their reputation in the recent times. And why I said in the recent times is that the greatness of Man City is just in the last 8 years. Let me even put
let's say 12 years.
Well, let's say that. But before they were
middle
they
size.
were minors. They are just
they used to call them our noisy
neighbor. Man United, Manchester United used to call them our noisy neighbor.
But I think there's a problem in Manchester.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in the city, Manchester.
Okay.
Because even their brothers too, that used to call them noisy.
Now the noisy.
They are now. Because they too, they just changed their coach.
Yes.
To Amorim.
Yes.
And that the coach that yesterday they were beaten at home.
Yes.
Guess by who?
It's not
Bournemouth.
Everybody just focused on Man City. Maybe also because Guardiola has seen himself as infallible coach.
Yes.
He has seen himself as infallible coach. And that is why last 2 weeks he was forced to admit that he's the problem. That is not good enough. Do you know why? Because he has always taken the glory before. He's trying to be smart. Because he wouldn't have been taking all the glory before. And now that you are failing, you try to share the blame. To share the blame. So he's taking. But what was remarkable was, what I didn't like was what Erling Haaland was doing the last time, trying to tell Arsenal coach to be humble, Arteta to be humble. I mean, who is a small boy,
23 years old. Having
I mean, where did you get that courage from?
And what does he really want?
What have you done? What have you done?
What has he done?
So it's like that. And when you are up there, don't think those below are not.
And nobody.
Or they are not working.
It's God that gave you the power to be there.
So results sometimes. A lot happens to results.
So what do you think is
Bible says the race does not go to the swift, or the battle to the strong, nor riches to men of understanding, but time and chance happening to them.
I declare from today that you are a pastor.
So what do you think is causing their downfall right now?
Well, number one, the world best player, Rodri. Rodri, nobody sees what Rodri is doing, really, because he works from the midfield. When he took that this thing off Vinicius, that he didn't win the Ballon d'Or, Vinicius didn't win it, he won it. People are thinking that, is it because, in football, the person that scores the goal is the one that takes most of the glory. That's why people like Makaleli of France, that was in Chelsea, Golo Kante, that is playing in Saudi Arabia now, that they didn't even have much impact. But let me tell you, if you can master that midfield, right, you have it made. You win ball, you pass this ball. Do you understand? Now the strikers are not scoring because someone like Rodri is not there to distribute the ball to them because he is injured. See, that's one of their major problem. And you know, when you are soaring and you are up there, when you lose control, the falling is free fall. So one of the major problem is Rodri that is out of I think the whole season is going to be out. You know, so when if he can come back before because we are hearing some news that Guardiola is going to be.
So there's nobody that can replace him.
He's not as good as him.
No.
They are not all
you know,
as
they
good
were
as him.
used to that style of play.
Yes.
And also, when failures sometimes doesn't depend only on you when it is a contest.
Yes.
It also depends on the strength of your opponent. Some of the opponent has improved in their team formation.
They are not small teams in EPL now.
Yes, there are no small teams in EPL. Look at Nottingham Forest.
And
People
they are
that were playing there, yes.
They almost went to relegation.
No, yes. So you begin to see that.
People like Brighton, they will brighten your day.
Yeah, yes, you're brighten your day. So it's
Brighton
no
will
longer
brighten
all
your
about
day.
you
Yes.
or your
Not all
formation
about
or Foden or Kevin De Bruyne or the whole of all that. It's also about your opponent.
Yes, people like Chelsea now. There was a spell in Chelsea before. The spell has just been lifted.
Yes.
It's because
You can see Jackson now running riot everywhere.
The spell has been lifted. But one of the best guys we have in Europe right now is our own Ademola Lookman.
No, Ademola is fantabulous.
Oh, no.
He has come back to the winning streak.
Yeah. And guess what? Atlanta, they are topping their league right now.
Yes.
They are topping their league.
Serie A.
The Italian Serie A. They are topping their league. Osimhen
But that's also got a brace yesterday.
He got a brace. No, I think a hat trick.
No, a brace.
Okay.
A brace. A penalty and another goal at 71 minutes.
But look, you see, let me tell you one of the reasons I like Lookman. His attitude.
No. Humble.
You see him that is a boy that is well taught from home. I mean, he has good parental tutelage. You know, he came up well. He will not talk much. He will not insult anybody. He will not insult.
And he's patient.
He's very patient.
Patient.
And look at his motivational talk.
Yes.
Can you explain how he's patient?
Yeah, you see, he said himself that 4 years ago, I was a failure in the eyes of the whole world.
Yes.
But 4 years later, I am the best in the continent. He took time on himself to develop himself further, not blaming it on anybody.
Yes.
You know, when he was on loan to Leicester. That time Iheanacho was playing there at Leicester, and he hasn't gone to Sevilla. He was in Leicester. And
was in Everton.
Didi was also in Leicester. Didi was in Leicester.
No, he was in Everton too. Everton was the first people that signed him.
That's right. So he was there on loan. The first time, to be clear with you, the first time I watched Lookman and knew he was going to be a great player was when he was on loan in Leicester. He was everywhere possible. And no matter what the coach was doing, I think what's the name of their coach? That's Rogers. Rogers was their coach that time. You know, Rogers can do some kind of substitution that make players to be angry. Lookman would never get angry. His temperament is always under control. Unlike what you might have with Osimhen before, but now Osimhen, I think he's beginning to manage himself better. He's a great player, but he didn't have that temperament.
It's not temperament, it's the training we are talking about. Let's say that
Home training.
he needs to humble himself and know that the talent that he had is God that gave it to him. When Finidi was playing football, Osimhen was not born. When Finidi was the great Finidi of Ajax, Osimhen was not born. When Finidi won the Champions League, Osimhen was not born.
I think he's still a young man who is growing, and I hope
he should not burn his hands before he goes.
And I hope he has learned some lessons that pride will take you. There's no talent you are displaying today that people have not displayed before, or people will not display in the future.
There's no money you have that people have
nothing. So respect for your elders in particular, and for people around you, and for your teammates is what will take you more. And look more, Ademola has it. That I can tell.
There are a lot of talent chucking out of Nigeria. I just wish that our own local league will become better and remove politics from so many things they do, and turn football, sports. Not just football, turn sport from what it is now into an entrepreneurship.
That's right.
Do you understand? So we need so that we have more businessmen coming on, more stadiums being built, more matches.
Just like you observed the last time, none of these sectors function in isolation.
Yes.
You have to have a responsible government.
Government.
Government that have respect for the rule of law.
Yes.
Investments don't just come in. Investment don't come because you are asking them to come.
Yes.
You know, one of our presidential candidates before has said it, that if you treat local investors well, foreign investors will come in. So we need to put accountability in our government. We need to entrench the respect for rule of law in our government. If we do that, investment will come. Our sports will be attractive. All other industries, agriculture, every other thing will be attractive. Let there be security. You understand? Let us have that system that guarantees that everyone is equal before the law. You will find investment flowing in.
We'll conclude on that note. So we'll do prayer and fasting for
Man City. and I'm wishing them well that they come up the ladder.
Thank you for viewing this. We'll be right back.